All right. Well, we have Omar Muhammad here with us. Hi, Omar. Welcome.
Well, hello, it's good to be here. Feels good to be with you in this moment.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. And so for today, Omar, I really wanted the audience to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
And then also, we're going to talk about your experiences with the mentorship. Okay.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you.
All right. So my name is Omar Muhammad. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Actually in real estate. And that's one of the beauties about this mentorship, because initially I was in real estate, but wasn't fully in real estate, hadn't made the decision to actually go full time in real estate. So I am a real estate agent here in the Los Angeles area. And yeah, and I'm working on just building my business and taking it to the highest point that it can go.
Awesome, awesome. So Omar, so tell us a little bit about how your life was before the mentorship.
Okay, that's a great question, because that's one of the things that I'm really grateful for, this mentorship. Before, it was hard for me to make a decision. Like I mentioned, I had my license and I wanted to do real estate, but I think one of the biggest things was I didn't have the confidence to really pursue real estate full time. So I was, doing a number of different things, just trying to make way. But after like actually talking to Amy and having some real conversations with myself and with Amy, and Amy holding me to the things that I said that I was going to do, it made me really realize that there's a lot of decisions that I hadn't made, that I hadn't really owned, and I hadn't really said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I was like always one foot in and one foot out with some of the decisions that I was making. And so, the mentorship has given me the opportunity to get a lot clearer on what I truly want from myself, what I demand of myself, and then really start taking action to really get those results that I really want.
Ooh, I love that, Omar. Yeah. So since we're on that topic, so share with us what are some of the biggest like shifts or awarenesses that you've actually acquired during the mentorship. So one thing is decision making. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. Yeah, I think of course decision making was the number one thing. But I think like even prior to that, it was, realizing like the habits that I had formed prior, then those habits were based off of an old image that I had of myself. So, from childhood through even through adulthood, I had taken on the image that I thought who I was, not seeing who I can potentially be, not seeing who I truly am. And I think that a lot of those thoughts and those images of who I was stopped me from taking the actions that I needed to take to really accomplish and be the person that I really need to be for myself and for my family, for myself, and for my business, most importantly.
Yeah, beautiful. You mentioned about self-image, right?
Yes.
And then it's really learning about how the identity of how you think, who you think you were actually stopping you, and you didn't even know, right? This is so unconscious.
It's such an unconscious thing, like,
Mhm.
and I thank you so much, because a lot of times you bring it to my awareness, and it would be after conversations where I was like, you know what, yeah, I was actually owning the old me. I was justifying the old me in those conversations, and I had to realize, a lot of those things, a lot of those ways that we've seen ourselves, it'll stop us. We'll hear that little voice in the back of our head. We'll have all the faith and all the belief, and then those little voices in the back of our head says, but what about that time you didn't do this and you didn't do that? And I found myself prior to the mentorship giving into those thoughts. Then those thoughts come up, then it's like, okay, well, you're right, old self, you're right. I wasn't in integrity with the things that I said I was going to do. So why do them now? Who's gonna believe you now? Whereas now, through the mentorship, I'm able to say, okay, that's a thought. That was who I was. That did happen, but this is who I am now. And then forcing myself out of my comfort zone to take action on the things that I really want or need to do to accomplish my goals.
Yeah. Oh my God, beautiful, Omar. Even just like talking to you right now, like you're totally a different person than when I first met you. like
Yeah.
the confidence, the way you talk, it's so different. Like I remember you remember our first conversation?
Yeah.
I remember I was looking at a lost soul, and you weren't
Yeah.
sure on what to do. And, I asked you, like, it was just a lot of unknown and, uncertainty, right?
Yeah,
Now
definitely.
you speak with conviction, like totally, you're totally a different person.
Yeah, I think that's one of the beauties, and it feels good. I think that like even now, it's just one of the biggest things is just moving with the belief. I think that like for myself, there was the lack of confidence, especially for me. Like I said, I was initially just part-time in real estate now, and it was mainly because of my confidence. Hey, I don't know, I don't know enough, or I haven't done enough. But after like having you as a mentor, is really helped me to trust myself and to say, you know what, I know more than I need to know. And not only that, whatever the universe is actually behind me. And so no matter what, even what I don't know, there'll be some way that the universe will be protecting me and guiding me through this next step. And so trusting myself, trusting in the universe, trusting that everything is okay, then it's giving me the confidence to just move forward, just take action and move out of that place of comfortability, or that place of fear also.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just I'm just watching you speak right now, and Omar, I'm just speechless, speechless. Like really, how much you've grown, Omar, from before till now. The identity, right? Like you've always known that. It's always inside of you, right? The confident Omar. It's just because of, in maybe in the past, maybe some circumstances, right? The old Omar, right? But because through the mentorship, you learn not to allow those inner chatters to cripple you, I want to say. But now you're like, okay, now when they come up, you know what to do, right? You're not going to give in to those inner chatters, because the inner chatters still come up, right? Yes or no?
Definitely. Oh, that definitely there. But
Yeah.
that's one of the things, like, even today, for example, one of the greatest things about this mentorship too is that you have the tools now. Like I actually have the tools. Like today, I had inner chatter, and one of the tools that I resorted to was on a piece of paper. I wrote down what a situation was. That was the negative thing, the negative chatter, and then I wrote out what I really want. My true desire of what I want from that situation, and then tore up the negative. And on now, you know, just having that tool in my toolbox. Whereas before, I would just it would become a snowball effect. The negative chatter would come in, and then I would justify it. Yeah, you know what, Omar, you're right, because this happened, because that happened, because this happened. Then before I know it, I've done nothing. Whereas now I've been able to utilize these tools to say, okay, that did happen. This is the situation, but this is what I want. And then go into the feeling of what I want. And it's allowed me to now take action to say, okay, well, I can take action from this point right now. And this is the result that I ultimately want, and move away from the chatter. So I'm extremely grateful for these tools that I've gotten through this mentorship.
Oh, perfect, perfect, Omar. I'm so proud. I'm like a proud parent. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people think these tools are only during the mentorship, right? So every week we teach about different tools. But no, these tools are actually, you can actually apply them into your life is when things come up, because things will, right? So it's not
Definitely.
like once you come into the mentorship, life is gonna be just rainbow and sunshine. No, right?
No,
Life always goes up and down, up and down. But it's like when you're down, how do you get yourself back up again? Right? That's the
definitely.
most important thing. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And well, I think also a thing that I wanted to just touch on too was the support system, because everybody, like you said, it's not just once you join, it's like, okay, there's a magic switch that goes off and everything is peachy cream. No, it's daily work. Everything it takes daily practice and repetition to really apply these tools. And we're actually learning something new. It's sort of like learning a new language, a new way of being, and having the support system of other people, having the support system of you when things aren't going right, being able to reach out to you and you help realign the thought process, and then having the community of people that are going through the same growth and development, and being able to hear their wins, and sometimes hear where they're struggling, and then just to hear it outside of yourself also helps. It just adds to knowing that you're not alone in the journey also.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Community is huge, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I say like you can't do this alone, right? Because
Definitely.
the paradigm we're shifting, the belief system, they're so strong, right? They've been there for so long, so many years, that they're gonna come up, right? So you gotta
Definitely.
have the support system, the community to help you when you need.
Definitely.
Yeah, good,
Definitely.
good, good. So let me ask you, Omar. So why did you decide to join the mentorship in the beginning?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was, well, there's a number of things. I think when I was introduced to you, you kind of came in and you actually really helped me define my mission and my vision, and I thought that that was awesome and it was amazing. And then when we actually spoke one on one, I was exactly like you said, so unclear on where I was going and what and what I needed to do. It just didn't have really the direction, and didn't have the know-how too. And so as we spoke and we continued, and you kind of like walked me through. And I remember there was times where I was speaking and you just kind of said, let's take a breath. Like let's breathe for a second. And it just kind of like settled my thoughts and everything. And I think that, through that, just kind of understanding, for one, that you really cared and you really had a passion to really help me reach the next level. I think that really triggered me to say, you know what, she's here to help, and she's here to be a guide. And then also the tools that you are already giving, that before even joining the actual academy, it was those tools that you were already offering, that helped me even get a little more clear. And so then once I joined, it was just like this eye-opening experience to say, hey, you know what, this is the place I need to be. It felt like home. It felt like being home. Like, okay, this is where I need to be to really get more clarity on what I'm trying to do and where I'm going. And then just to talk about goal setting, I think that was powerful for me, because there's a difference between saying, oh yeah, I think I'm going to do this and I want to do this, but then actually helping us put like action steps together as to how to achieve those goals, and identifying where we could be missing certain steps. I think that was for me, that was the most powerful thing that made me really want to join the academy.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, Amar. And then the most important thing is you made a decision. Like
Definitely.
you
Yeah.
you did.
that
Yeah.
that I think that was great too. I think like in our initial conversation too was, just make a decision. You gave me an article to read on decision making, and it stood out to me, and it stood out to me in a way where it was like a punch in the gut, where it was like, oh, that's me. I'm not making decisions, like. And then I started to actually see where things weren't operating the way that I wanted them to, because I was lacking that ability to just make a decision and just own my decision. However it comes out, just own it and know and trust that the universe has my back, the support system has my back. But it was that just knowing that I needed that guidance. I needed to have somebody that can help me clear out all the confusion and uncertainty that I had in my mind.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so besides the decision making, it's also um, coming in and um, I mean, let's be honest, okay? Were there any like fear before making that decision, Omar? Any
Of
doubt and fear?
of course. I mean, of course, the number one thing is, how am I going to make this happen financially? Let's say that for one, I think that was the biggest fear initially, and then just the fear that well, that I guess the thought of, well, like you said, we can't do it on our own. So the thought of, well, why can't I can just do this by myself? I think that, that's the inner chatter. But I think one of the biggest things that I also realized, and I think I may have shared this with you, is that for myself, growing up, I always felt like, oh, I have to do things on my own. I have to figure this out myself. And that was one of the things that you really helped me see, is that I don't have to go through life feeling like that. I don't have to go through life doing things on my own when I have the support system and people that are willing and able to really help me see things and make things happen for me and
Yes.
with me more so.
Yes, absolutely. You just gotta learn to ask. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Once you ask, and then you'll be able to receive. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and the receiving part has a lot to do with your self-worth.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's the yeah.
Yeah.
That's another big that's another big thing that kind of goes with that self-image and that's another thing that I'm extremely grateful for is realizing that. I think that sometimes that's hard to own, that fact that we may not see ourselves worthy of certain things, and I think that that was something that you helped me realize is and own that, you know what, at a certain time I may not have seen myself worthy of my goals, and that in itself stops me from taking action, or had stopped me from taking action at times.
Yes. Yes, it's huge. Your self-image controls everything, right? So it's first recognizing the self-worth, and then okay, then how do I change my belief around my self-worth so I'm able to receive all the abundance like that's coming to me, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things. Good, good. So Omar, so what have you manifested? I mean, we've been together for a few months, I think more than 6 months. Yeah, 9 months now, I think. Yeah. So what
Definitely.
are some of the things that you manifested?
Yeah, so for me, I think the biggest thing was just really taking ownership of my business and going full time. So initially I was just kind of unsure of actually going full time in real estate, and that's actually something that now I'm like head on going full time. I think the biggest thing is too just like the confidence now to actually go out and talk about the business, tell people that I'm in real estate and this is what I'm doing, and even in that, I've been able to create referrals for myself. Just the other day, I was out door knocking, which something that I didn't have the confidence to do before. And even in that, I actually found a referral for myself for my business. So just being able to really have that confidence and go out and make things happen, and knowing that I'm making things happen with the universe behind me, with a support system behind me, has been awesome.
Yeah. How does that feel, Omar? Like knowing that you don't have to do this alone, knowing that you don't need to know the how, right? Knowing that you have support from the universe. Like
Mhm.
like like you don't have to worry as much as before, right? Like
Mhm.
how much is that worth to you to not have to worry?
It means it feels really good. I think that like one of the biggest things is it feels liberating is the first word that comes to me, because I think prior to that it was there's all this anxiety that we carry. There's all this anxiety and worry, and I think that's one of the biggest things that now, if I look back at the old me and who I am now, is as soon as the worry kind of creeps in, there's the reassurance that no, I'm okay. Everything is okay, and everything is going to work out just the way that it should. And so that gives me the space now to actually be more creative in what I'm going to do. It gives me the space now to move with a little more confidence and take action. And so that right there, to me, it's like priceless, because it's it sucks to like, it just naturally sucks to like always be worried and concerned about the how is this going to happen, and I mean, that's what one of the things that I've come to realize through the program and through this mentorship is that doesn't put me on the frequency of what I really want. It actually keeps me creating that same feeling and that same, the same outcomes and results. And so eliminating that worry and that anxiety has been like a tremendous I guess benefit to myself and to my business.
Yes, yes, it's huge. When you have that peace of mind, and the biggest thing is having the tools, right?
Definitely.
How to align and how to shift. Yeah.
Definitely.
Good, 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 good. So what would you say, Omar, for the people that are watching this and thinking about, oh, should I invest in myself? Should I invest in the mentorship? What would you say to them? Any recommendations, any advices that you can give them?
make a decision. I think that would be the biggest thing is, I think outside of that is it's make the decision, like choose yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things. And when we talk like when we just talked about like self-worth, it's actually realizing that you are worthy of this. And not only are you worthy of this, it's you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to see yourself as somebody greater, and I think that investing in this program, you'll be doing yourself the best thing that you can do for yourself, because you'll really understand who you are. You'll start to understand what's actually stopping you from reaching that image of yourself, that higher image of yourself, and then have those tools to be able to utilize, like you just mentioned, throughout life, not just through this program, but throughout life. And so I believe it's like the best investment that you can do for yourself.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So with that, any last words of encouragement that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, technically I would just say, just really consider yourself. Consider yourself when you're making this decision. Consider who you truly want to be and what you truly want from your life, and who you want to be for not only yourself but your community, for your family, for your friends, and really just make the decision to invest in you. I think that sometimes we don't think that it's worth investing in ourselves, but it truly is. And it changes our world. It changes the world around us, and it changes the world for those that are around us, because we then become an image for people to look up to, and an image for people to model themselves after. And that right there is priceless in itself, because we don't realize how we shift the entire world that way.
Yes, yes, absolutely. When we shift, we start trickling out, right? Our it starts with us, and then our family,
Definitely.
our close friends, and then community, right? And then the world. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, it's beautiful. So, but it starts with us. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely starts within. So that's one of the reasons why we have to take an interest in ourselves, and we have to be able to invest in ourselves, and just punch fear in the face, and just go for it.
Yeah, I love that, Omar. Punch fear in the face. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Omar, for sharing your story and sharing with the audience. So if you're watching, make a decision like what Omar said. Again, thank you, Omar.
Thank you, Amy.